we're gonna be reviewing Street Fighter 6 amongst other things. So, why don't we start with Quintessence? Because I don't think August has even cracked open the game yet, but
Hey,
he's
I've
been
watched
watching.
hours,
He's been
literal
watching
hours
hours of
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 gameplay.
it, of the game. So he's got like a bird's eye, disconnected perspective of things.
Plus, we played the demo that one time. That's got to count.
Oh my god.
It,
The game's a little bit different.
a little bit. So, yo, Quint, what are your thoughts on Street Fighter 6 as of late?
Okay. So I'm still not super keen on Drive Impact.
Mm-hmm.
What about
However,
Peachy Keen? Are you Peachy Keen?
no.
I guess.
Okay.
But so
Mm-hmm.
content wise, like the world tour and stuff, really cool. Awesome. Fantastic. It was definitely designed for controllers in mind and
Yes.
not
Yes. Pads.
Arcade
pads
stick.
or and button boxes or anything
They,
like that. It was definitely
supposedly,
designed for controllers.
supposedly they did add a patch to make it easier to move around a world tour with pads. Or not
They
pads.
It's still rough.
they have to they have
Basically,
a
what they did
button.
is they just made the camera just like snap behind you for the most part.
There's actually a button that you press. Like you press like LB, and then you can control the camera with XYZ AB, or
Yeah,
triangle, whatever.
it's still it's clunky to
I
say
have
the least, but
I have
I
played
don't
it that way for about 10 hours. I played it on
Yeah.
arcade stick that way. So it's a little
Yeah.
weird. It's a little weird to get used to.
It's
But
really weird.
But it works. It works. I do
Yeah,
do I
no,
like
I
it?
mean it's a nice little band-aid fix. It works. But yeah. So I think the game is really solid.
Mm-hmm.
Um the only thing I'm kind of on the fence about is I'm not really liking the music. I I thought maybe it would kind of like grow on me over time, but
Yeah.
it just hasn't. I don't like
Me and Matt had a long discussion about that.
it's
This
just
is
not doing it for me.
this is probably the weakest Street Fighter soundtrack I think ever. Ever.
Yes.
Like I've
Yeah.
never heard like
Eh,
even Street Fighter 5 you
it's a nothing.
reused a lot of like songs, but even those were like orchestral or um
A remix of some
a
kind,
remix, or they had
a rearrangement.
they even
Something.
gave new
Just
characters, like great songs like Rashid. Come on, man.
Even
yeah.
the songs with the cheesy rapping were like,
But
Um,
Matt, how did you feel about Street Fighter 6?
well, the gameplay is fantastic, and
Yeah.
I loved it. I think I can't get enough of it. It makes me like I like it so much that like I care so much about playing it and getting better and winning, and it makes me so angry when I lose, but I keep going and I keep playing. I get this game makes me crazy salty. I don't know what it is about the
Oh,
game.
the game makes me super salty too. I don't know why. I feel like there's so much cheap shit, I guess, and I haven't gotten used to it. But
Yeah.
when I stand up into like those JP
yeah,
command grabs, I want to hit Alt F4.
yeah. I feel like by making like a universal defensive system, though, it still feels less cheap than a lot of the stuff in 5. I mean, maybe this is
Yeah.
just me, but like,
Um.
yeah,
Well, I mean, Drive Impact's neutered Dalsum basically, so you know.
Well,
makes
I mean, I think the thing is right now more than any other time in Street Fighter 6 is the time where we're gonna get the most lopsided tier list, because
Oh, for sure.
there's so many new mechanics and nothing is optimized that literally none of these tier lists matter. So I mean, you can have a general idea of a tier list, but that's just gonna change within like 6 months. So um
It's
you
just
know
kind of funny. Like Dalsum starts throwing out anything, you're just like Drive Impact. Like, okay, cool, full combo convert.
I have not fought one Dulcim yet. I've
I've
not
fought a couple.
I've not fought. I can't believe it. I've not fought one Dalsum in ranked or in casual matches. I've not seen
A
one.
lot of Kens. A lot of Kens.
So there's always a lot of
Ken is
Kens.
definitely the most popular character.
But is there still a flow chart? That's the question.
Of course
Oh,
there
for
is.
sure. Yeah, no. They love doing like a few moves into the kickstance into like a low.
All Ken players play the same. They
Yeah, pretty
all play
much.
the same. Like I've never like I praise you if you beat me with a smart Ken, you know. But yeah, no, like Ken's kind of he's fun though. I mean, say what you will,
Yeah,
but
he's pretty degenerate, but he's fun.
yeah, for sure. Crazy enough, he's higher tiered than Ryu in this game.
Yeah.
Right.
Which
Wasn't he higher
Just
tier
that
than
that new
Rio
kickstance. That
five?
kickstance is just
Yeah.
ludicrous. Plus he has like loops. He can just like do plus frame loops on you. That's cool, I guess.
throw loops.
No, not even throw loops. It's just plus frame loops.
My
And you have
favorite
to
yeah.
basically hold that until you find an opening.
My favorite part about this game right now is there's just so much goodwill to it. There's so much enthusiasm. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yep.
Street Fighter V fell on its face right out the gate, and I can't even remember why. I think there were so many bad things about it. Like I didn't even know where to start counting. Like Rook at Gate. There's a million things, but like this game, like you see people coming over from like Melee to play it. Like Mewtwo King's coming over from Melee to try to get that bag.
Yeah, it's that
Uh,
$1 million. Really, what
like
it
That
is.
million.
it's but like
Big
it's not
big Millie.
it's not even just like people coming over for the money though. I think people are legitimately having fun playing the game.
Yeah.
And I just love that new grinding spirit. I love that new grinding enthusiasm. I love watching these first couple offline tournaments, man. Like everyone's getting real hype. You're learning more about the game. You're seeing not necessarily where the meta is going to go, but people are starting to talk about like what's popular. The Japanese already have a tier list out.
They
Uh,
do.
yeah.
Fastest tier list in
Oh,
the
dude, for real,
not
man.
West.
But no, it's cool to see so much goodwill and enthusiasm about one game and people like rather than the petty arguments or the bullshit or the scandals behind the scenes, people
Mhm.
just talking about how good the game is and how much they want to play it now. I love that. Like early game of a good game is some of the most exciting time to watch fighting game.
Yeah, man. I would say though that this game does have some problems, but even those are sort of like they're minor, but most of them are like
What's your biggest problem?
quality of life issues. Is the fucking UI in this game? I'm sorry, I don't mean to
Oh, the
swear.
UI is every Street Fighter, man. I don't know why they can't just like have a normal ass UI. I don't know why I always have to go through a billion buttons to get anywhere.
Especially in like story mode or the battle hub or whatever, it's sort of like you have two
No.
menus. You can't just press start. You gotta
Nope.
press like select to go to a whole different another set of menus to change your clothing or whatever, change your controls. And then if you press start, that has another set of controls
Yeah.
to change that you can like you can't just do everything through the start menu. I don't know why they didn't just add like a different another selectable
Yeah.
menu for through that, but it doesn't matter. Like I think that's a thing. Like just trying to exit the game is annoying because
It's a struggle.
it's like I just
They
want
don't
to
want you to leave, bro.
exit the game, but they want you to press start to go to return to desktop. You can't just like exit and then exit again, and it'll be like, "Do you want to
Yeah.
exit the game?" It won't do that. It'll be like, "Oh, you want to enter the game? Okay." Because it's like it's the press any button problem where that it's like one of those things or just
Oh, you wanted to go back to the title screen. No, I understand. I got you, fam.
just changing your character. I don't know, like it's fine once you get used to it, but again it's just forever being mildly annoyed with a an options the options and the UI, and that versus mode, like versus mode screen where it's like you want to play arcade, you want to play versus practice, that is the ugliest screen I have ever seen in a fighting game. Like it's just this ugly pink purplish color that like has like a like I think they're going for like some kind of street art, like on a wall type
Yeah,
thing,
definitely.
but
Yes.
it just doesn't do it for me. And then the music the rapping like in the versus menus just freaking trash.
Yeah, they
And
picked way too much purple.
yeah, I don't know. They went with so many different kind of options and sort of things that it feels a little disjointed between the three of them. The story mode is very jank. It has lots of like weird things that essentially it's just one giant fetch quest, right? Like I'm I'm not even kidding. Like I went to you have to go to the other side of town to um do this thing called the novice tournament. Your first novice tournament at like the Mike Hagar Stadium, right? So you have to go there by taking the train, the subway.
Yeah.
You take the subway there, you go, and they're like, okay, so we're actually your fighters aren't here at the stadium. You have to go out and find them and fight them on the street. And then once you get into the top 8, then you fight them all in the the stadium. So you fight them in the stadium, and like you fight like 2 people, and they're like, oh, you have to come back here at night because your opponent is only available at night, which means you have to take the subway back. And if you didn't know, when you take the subway, you have to fight like 3 hordes of bad guys. So that means you have to go take the subway back, fight through, take the subway there, fight like 3 hordes of bad guys, then take it back, fight 3 hordes of bad guys, just to go into your like room to press a button that says from day to night, and then you click night, right? And so then you click night. Just stop. Hold on. You click night, and then you have to go back to the subway. You have to get back on the subway to travel back to the other side of town because the other side of town is blocked by police cars. And then you get there, you fight the guy, and they're like, oh, the only way to get your next fight through the stadium is to come back during the day. So then you have to go back to the subway, ride the subway back, to go back to your room, to turn it to day, to ride the subway back, to get to the stadium, to get your next fight. And this
there's a lot of padding.
And then there's like, oh yeah, by the way, your next fight isn't going to be for a little while, so why don't you go talk to Lei Fang over in Chun-Li's area of the the map. And then you're like, okay, but the police cars are still blocking the freaking way, so then you got to take it back to talk to Lei Fang, and then you know what I'm saying? Like, this is like
do the police
game.
Cars ever not block your way?
They do. After you beat the novice tournament, the police cars are gone.
Oh, okay.
But they're just there for arbitrary like time padding. It's the worst thing in the world.
I don't know, man.
I didn't have the patience for it.
Dude, it sounds like the developers of this game were homies with the dude who made Shenmue. Like Capcom finally got to make their Shenmue with their needless bullshit and their like final fight side quests.
Yeah, no, there's like stuff where it's like you at one point Bosch steals a bag of money from someone. So for whatever reason, he's your main characters, they're like, you get us that bag and you can get up this ladder to go talk to this person, right? So then you get sent on a fetch quest to go find the bag of this guy, and then there's like an alleyway of like hordes of mad gear jobbers that you have to beat up. Of course. And they keep coming. You get up there to talk to the guy, and he's like, oh yeah, I can make you this bag, but you have to get me 3 pieces of leather to go get this to make this bag. So then you gotta go out, find people, get into fights to get these 3 things of leather to bring it back to this guy. And then it's like, oh yeah, then there's also this one last piece I need, which is this clasp. But you gotta go find Marissa for this clasp. And so then you literally have to travel to Rome to find Marissa so she's a craftsman, to give you a clasp. But you gotta get into a fight with her, and you also have to get her to be your teacher, so you can get the clasp, to bring it back to the guy, to get the bag to the Mad Gear hideout, and then get up the ladder to talk to this one person to figure out where Bosch is.
Dude, I don't know why you're complaining, man. I feel like you're finally understanding what being a world warrior is about. You know what I mean? The answer lies in the art of battle, bro. You just got to keep battling it out. Gotta get them dubs, baby.
This is literally like this game needs to pick itself up, or because it's been incredibly rough, trying to go through this, and just so you can get costumes. They're trying. This is why they're making it so difficult, because they don't want you to get a costume too so easily. I mean, after a little while, like you start to like meet more and more people, but like at first, like it's pretty limited, and it's a poor man's Yakuza.
Dude,
That's
how do
really
you
what
think?
it is.
You could also just pay money to unlock the second costume.
Yeah, but I already paid them $100 for the deluxe version.
Yeah, but what'd you get for that?
You got them extra colors, baby.
Buckus.
Yeah,
For
there's extra colors.
for select characters.
For select characters.
For select characters and costumes.
Like 6 characters got an extra color. It's like, oh, whoa.
Oh, let me see what the deluxe. What is it? Is it the deluxe version?
Yeah, them premium colors are gonna be real worth it when they employ Fortnite tactics and they don't sell them again.
No, because you have an upgrade pass. You can upgrade whatever copy you're on to a higher tier.
Now, B, you watch. There's gonna be like limited costumes that only get sold like once every like 2 or 3 years.
The worst part is like the Ultimate Edition gives you like 7,700 drive tickets. You're like, oh, that seems like a lot of drive tickets.
Yeah.
And you realize that's enough for barely like an alt color for a costume. And you're like, never mind. It's almost nothing. I see. Thank you, based Capcom.
So your money is worthless. Just buy our game.
Pretty much.
Give us your money later.
The game's super fun though, so I'm torn, right? Like I want to give it like really high marks for like being super fun, but I also have to take the single player experience into account.
Yeah.
And like the monetization into account, and just be like, oh, crap.
Yeah. Have you guys noticed any of the cameos of World Tour? Because I hear there'd be like mad like Capcom and Final Fight references everywhere. You know what I mean?
There are. There's a lot of like references.
Hagar's.
Yeah, there's a lot of like Final Fight references everywhere. You even like meet people from like Final Fight 2, or like a guy I think it's Carlos Miyamoto, or and you just meet him randomly, and you have to fight him to be part of his like little secret operation or whatever it is.
His crew.
His crew.
Like I hear Luce is in the back somewhere chilling out. I mean, some of it takes place in Metro City. So I know, like, Cody's supposed, if would he still be the mayor? He was the mayor in 5.
It says that like when you go on the train, it says you'll see like a poster that says like a more improved something Metro City, and it has like Mayor Cody on there.
Cool.
So I believe he's still mayor, and it's a little unsure, but it kind of implies that Mike Hagar might be dead, but it's still kind of like nobody really knows. They haven't really confirmed it necessarily, but he has a memorial, so I mean he must be dead, right?
Oh, not the Iron Mayor of Metro City. Fuck.
I mean he's as dead as Street Fighter characters and such get.
Yeah.
He's dead until they're like, I mean, we can bring him back.
Yeah, he could come back as Metal Hagar, a fighting robot, like Heihachi.
I mean, Hachi is not coming back as a fucking robot.
Nah, baby, that's the meme. It's gonna be Robo Hachi in 8. But so more about SF6. Yeah, I think some of the weird references in World Tour mode sound really funny. I like the backwards poison reference. Like I don't know if you saw the link, but there's a little character I met where it's just like, I don't like. Do you know what? It was like, are you asking what gender I am? Don't you know it's 2023? We've moved on to the future now.
Oh yeah.
It's like you can be. It doesn't matter what gender I am. You can still catch these hands, which I love. It's very pro Pride Month. But yeah. The World Tour seems goofy, but it seems kind of cool. Like if they were like, more people are gonna play this than played arcade mode in SF5, and I think that's what they're going for.
So
Well, I mean,
just
some people have been playing World Tour and they enjoyed it so much that actually like ignited their desire to play the actual, like online portion of the game and get
which is
better at that.
exactly what Capcom wanted. So I think
Yeah,
this was actually
that's what they were going for.
rather than doing the Mortal Kombat thing, which I mean has been done and clearly didn't win them any favors in 5. I think what they did here to make the game more interactive is
yeah.
clearly working because people are playing it. So
Yeah, for sure.
They so yeah, for sure. I mean, like, the game does teach you how to play it without like, intentionally and unintentionally. Like, the robots, the entire purpose of like these drones is to teach you how to do lows, is to teach you how to anti-air, is to teach you how to deal with armored moves. Someone blocking, like taking an opening, like the refrigerator. The entire point is when it opens its door, it's going to start throwing blasts, and that's your chance to throw like a fireball at it and hit it or whatever. Um, I mean, also the other thing that's amazing about it is just the character creator itself, which is amazing.
oh
I
my god, I've seen so many crazy
I've
characters.
seen some wild stuff. So, what would you rate Street Fighter 6?
Oh, we're going straight to the
I got it.
ratings.
I got it. Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. I gotta hear it. Cause August. Okay.
So okay, so having not played it for very long, because
Yeah.
I know playing it's gonna actually like it's gonna sour my mood on the game because like I have to go through that salt phase before I like it. You know what I mean? I have to be mad
Oh,
at
okay.
everything before I like it. I would say the
I'm
game's
still
at
mad at
like
everything.
I would say the game's at like maybe a 7 or an 8. It's very high, not perfect.
Okay.
Mm,
Fair
mm.
enough. That was a fast review, August. All right.
So,
7 or 8.
but watching it
Seven
right
or
now is
eight.
So
beautiful. It's
what
amazing to watch.
is it, a 7 or an 8 then?
Yeah, 7 or an 8.
I haven't
What
played
is it
5.
though?
I'm still I mean 7.5 right now. 7.5.
7.5. Okay.
Feels a bit low.
What about you, Matt?
I'd give it a 9.
Okay.
It's a
Huh.
9.
That's fair. I have to give it like an 8.5. I gotta remove points for the clunky World Tour opening. I gotta
In the
remove
UI.
points for the music. I gotta remove points for the UI. And I have to remove points because what the fuck is the point of the queue system in the Battle Hub when it doesn't fucking work? Anyway,
The queue system?
yeah, the queue system.
What?
Also, it doesn't re-queue you automatically.
Not unless you successfully do a match and then you rematch again. But if you miss the match, if you don't queue, then you gotta re-queue. Um,
So
but
stupid.
if you press start, it will pause your queue. Strangely enough.
No, no, in the Battle Hub?
Yeah.
Like when I'm queuing up to play with someone else
Mm.
at the machine?
If you're sitting down at the machine, if you yeah at
No,
any
if you're standing, you're waiting to
at
play
any
at the
point
machine.
at any point if you're queued up to do ranked or player match and you press start, it will pause your
No,
queue.
that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about.
So that's
I'm talking about say for example, you're sitting right here and Fredo's sitting right here and I'm standing right here,
mhm.
right? And I queue up to play next, right?
Oh
And then you beat Fredo, for
yeah.
example, and then he just gets jettisoned out and he doesn't even get like put back into the queue. He's just and he has to re-go onto the cabinet, press the button, confirm that he wants to fight against you, confirm what side he wants to be on.
Um
The other thing that annoys me, the cabinets. Like, why is it?
Cabinet's
Uh,
just really clunky.
no,
Like
it's not only super clunky, but
really clunky.
they only gave you Street Fighter 2, and you have to do something special to unlock Super Turbo. And I don't think any of the other games are multiplayer yet, right?
no, I think they give you
I don't
super
know. I haven't
turbo.
even looked at
Yeah,
that.
but
They're
you have to do something special for it. It's not on by default.
they're
From what I
just
understand.
timed. They're just timed. That's it.
Oh,
They just like
that's
rotate
whatever
with
then.
time.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I'm at like an 8.5. I think the game is super solid, probably the best Street Fighter we've had. And I look forward to actually where it goes from here. And I
Yes.
hope that Capcom don't make like horrible predatory moves with like battle pass and
Please
stuff.
keep supporting this game,
Don't
Capcom. That's all
don't
we want.
don't don't costume FOMO me. on the battle pass. Please,
So
Capcom,
so
don't.
one of the things I did want to say about the battle passes that I think people are forgetting is there was a battle pass for 5, and as annoying as you want to say it was, supposedly it paid for the tournament prize pool. So if
I
they
mean,
did the same
that's
thing, if they did the same
That,
thing
that's
again, I
fair.
won't be as mad.
that was the
I
CPT
just
pack.
don't want to be FOMO'd on
Yeah,
the costumes. I don't want that, you know? Like, oh, this was only available at the end of the battle pass track, back in 2023.
yeah,
Get screwed, idiot.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
No, they need to adopt the Halo Infinite battle pass strategy where like it's available for you at any time you want to complete it, as long as you complete it.
hmm.
That could work.
I think I don't know, man. I think this game is the actual combat of the game, the actual versus combat is makes up for anything that the game does wrong for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Um,
why I'm at an 8.5, It's like
you
it's so clean.
you can also make custom rooms too, so you don't have to,
They re-enabled that. That's
they enable the
nice.
custom rooms, so you don't have to like, deal with the cabinets.
Hmm. Also,
Even
we had the best launch for a Street Fighter title, pretty much,
ever,
like
Yes,
ever. Yeah,
yeah,
might be one of the best fighting game
the game
launches ever.
just it just kind of worked.
Yeah,
The only hiccup they really had was, oh my god, there's too many people enjoying this game right now, so we have to close custom rooms.
yeah.
yeah.
Like,
No, let
okay,
let's actually give shout out and props to Capcom where it's due.
for sure.
Holy shit! For how many people bought and played this game in the first week to only have one very small server hiccup, insane.
Yeah.
Especially for a
With
fighting
with
game.
full crossplay,
Yes,
like
with full crossplay and
you
like
you
people.
take the numbers on like PC and then you're like, okay, now we just like multiply these by like 5 or so and then count for the
Yeah,
consoles, right?
yeah. In the good rollback implementation, yeah.
Yeah.
If I wanted to play Daigo from my couch, I could. Like that's how good it is
Yeah,
in Japan.
you as if you're both wired, you could literally play anyone in the world.
Yeah,
I'm
Mm,
pretty convinced if
yeah.
you're both wired. Wireless, it gets pretty iffy, but it seems like if you were both wired, you could fight against literally anyone in the world.
That's amazing. That deserves just
Yeah, I've had zero
amazing.
hiccups other than like a single Wi-Fi match where God only knows where.
Yep.
yeah.
And it's like, what were you saying? Sorry.
No, it's fine. Just I would say that the Wi-Fi though is sometimes kind of sketchy. I think it
Yeah,
still needs some work. There's also like a lot of I forgot to mention there's a couple of other issues too with the online mode and streaming it. There's like a frame rate issue.
really.
That yeah, so OBS when OBS captures the game, it can't keep up with the frame rate of it can't keep up with the frame rate capture of the game. Like it skips. Like there's like missing frames. Whereas to
You think
me,
that's a hardware issue?
when I'm playing it, it's fine.
I think it's
Yeah, but
the other people
OBS
too.
puts like more stress on your hardware, so possibly like your hardware isn't good enough, right? In
I mean,
quotes,
when I'm
or
playing
it could just be
when I'm playing the game, when I'm actually
yeah,
in match, it's fine.
yeah.
When it's when it's playing a cutscene or when
Hmm.
it's in the overworld of World Tour,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
there's issues.
Everyone's been saying that
Mm.
the World Tour mode it
I've
runs
seen it
at
with other people too.
no because the
World
World
Tour
Tour
has FPS issues for
no
sure.
World Tour because the World Tour tries to run at 120. Like the fighting game myself tries to run at 60 because it's a fighting game.
Hmm.
Any of the menus in the World Tour tries to run at 120. So everyone else has been having issues with capturing World Tour 2 because there's like weird issues. That's why honestly they like made that like the download split where you can download World Tour differently. Because they know like once you're done playing World Tour, you can like put it away, I guess. And like it'll put less stress on your hardware because they know World Tour kind of it doesn't run the same as a regular game.
Yeah.
I mean, it has a lot of stuff it loads, so like, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but I suppose the excuse they're probably going with is, this is like the first time we've like really done something like this, so he
Yeah,
gives some time to iron out things that are going on, and get things going proper.
but it's not a game breaking hiccup. It's just annoying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, for streaming, it's somewhat game breaking because like
Yeah.
the skip frames is really jarring as a viewer.
Yeah, I
So,
don't know if it's actually watchable. I don't know if it's that's my
yeah,
only thing. I'm like I'll stream it and I'm like, is this watchable? Like
Yeah.
if I'm playing the, I'm not worried about playing ranked
Yeah.
because there's
yeah.
like barely at least I don't think perfect. If you're in the chat, is there frame skipping during actual matches like ranked matches and stuff? See if she answers.
I didn't really see any. I was watching you play some, and I didn't really see any.
Not really. Okay, just during World Tour. Yeah, that's the only time I ever have problems. So I need to figure out that.
I think if you listen to CSB,
It might not even be a you issue. It could
yeah,
be a
it's
game
not just a
issue.
U issue. If you listen to CSB, I think they talk about it and they do something where like they mention they have a solution, I think, but it like you still get screen tearing. I think they do something about like unsyncing the frame rates or something like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a
that sounds
Last,
awful.
yeah,
there's like what is it? There's like a frame rate thing. Well, yeah, screen tearing is also a problem because you have to turn off this one filter or something like that. This like input delay filter or something like that. And yeah, I think it's a big problem.
but I mean, other than Battle Hub, the main game is so crisp and clean, and it streams very crisp and clean. And I look forward now that we're like in the post-COVID era, at least we think for now. I
Mm-hmm.
look so forward to watching offline tournaments. Oh my god, I watched a couple this weekend; they were amazing. CEO's coming up in a couple weeks, right? And I'm just so hyped. I'm so hyped for this. I'm so ready. Um, like gameplay looks great. Like it's really funny because it's like because this game is so popular and because this game is gelling with so many people from even the 4 era, you
Mm-hmm.
have like people that were gods of 4 that didn't like 5 coming back out of the woodwork, and then you have the gods of 5 still putting in work. So like this is going to be like an all-time collection of like top tier Street Fighter players. Anyone who still wants to be competitive, going for it. And I'm very here for it, man. Like Punk is still out there grinding, Knuckle Dude's still out there grinding,
Yeah.
Idom's still out there grinding, and those are just the 5 legends. So I want to see what the 4 legends bring back. You know what I mean? Like I know PR Rog was tweeting and like, "Hey yo, I'm coming back. I'm coming back."
The four Heavenly Kings.
Smug was tweeting, he's coming back. Snake Eyes has been playing this. I don't really know where
Tokido's been playing more.
Tokido's been playing more. I mean, Tokido was still God in 5, but
He was, but he didn't go super hard on 5.
I don't know. He grinded out for the best of Topanga League because I think he wanted to go out as like the last best player of 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, essentially, so many people that are legends of Street Fighter are going in on this game. Not just because they have to, but it seems like because they really like how it plays. And I'm very excited to see what the future of pro Street Fighter is going to look like. Because like, I'm sure you got more like 16-year-old phenoms coming out of the woodwork, and then you're gonna have the old heads, still repping the game. So very excited.
I
Yeah.
just want to see Daigo drop more combos. That's all I want.
Nope.
Oh yeah, what do we think about the parry system? Real quick, I do want to say
Oh,
Okay, so like footsies are kind of barely they're a thing in Street Fighter 6, but also not really because you can't get greedy with footsies because at some point someone's gonna hit drive impact or they're gonna parry you. They're just
yeah.
gonna mash
Yep.
parry. They're gonna
Yeah,
mash
hit that parry
parry
button.
or they're gonna mash drive impact, and you're not gonna be able to do footsies more than once. Like you might get one, and then you're gonna try to continue pressure.
Yeah.
So the idea is you can't shimmy. So you're either gonna have to jump up or cross people up. Probably neutral jumping is where it's at in terms of the idea. And then it's sort of like if they parry, then you have to like walk up and grab.
Grab. Yeah. I mean, if they're drive impact spam, you can also just walk up grab. So
Yeah. I mean, that's the other
whatever.
thing. I guess you can sort of. The idea is now for pressure, you have to bait drive impact, and
Yeah.
so it kind of becomes like who's gonna drive impact first, who's gonna and then or who's gonna parry first, and then it's sort of like you continue your offense from there. But you need to use both of them sparingly. Because it's sort of like you obviously want to do drive impact when people are least expecting it because it's very easy to react to.
Yep.
I'm old. I can't react to it yet. Give me time.
No, I think a lot of people have been kind of, I don't know about complaining, but they're not sure if they like the current parry setup because they want to take like a lot of them if they get perfect parries, they want to take it straight into offense.
Mhm.
And yeah, you can do that on paper, but there's also what like a 20% damage scaling reduction even if you hit a perfect parry. So many people have been complaining. It's like, why even bother hitting a perfect parry if I'm gonna get like a 20% damage reduction? You know what I mean? Because like, yeah, I can get something off it, but it's not as good as like the
Perfect parries are pretty damn hard in SF6 too.
that's what I'm
If
saying. So it's like, why do it
Like
if you still get a damage reduction? A lot of
the
people aren't.
the risk versus reward is kind of skewed though, because even if you don't get a perfect parry on its own is still extremely good,
yeah,
right? It's not like with Third Strike or whatever where like, oh, you screwed up your parry, you're gonna eat shit. In this, it's just like, oh, you screwed up your parry, now you don't get a full combo. Sorry, dude.
I think I think um the idea of parrying is there are some situations where you can't drive impact through a move, you can't out footsie a move, so you need to parry it. Like I think
Yeah.
um Marissa's probably a good example of that, where a lot of her moves and her style is built to blow through drive impact, though
Yes.
her moves look like you should drive impact through them. But the idea,
Mhm.
because they have like gaps in between them. So the
Yeah.
idea is she does a combo, she does like her anti drive impact moves, parry them, and then you can continue. Um, at least I would say. But parrying gives you like a fair bit of advantage, especially in certain situations, or at least it seems like it does, because as soon as you hit that parry, I think you're plus. Um, and then you
I
can
think
kind of start
so,
going
yeah.
offensive. At least it seems like it. Like people will parry me and then just DP me after I've hit them with a button. So
Perfect parry or just
just
regular
regular
blue
blue
parry.
parry, not
Just
even perfect
regular.
parry. But I do get a lot of people trying to perfect parry me and just. But I think they're like, I think they're like
I
really
mean,
slapping those
perfect, you have
buttons.
like 8 days to get your input in after, so
I just don't. I'm not utilizing parrying yet really as much as I should. But I feel like against characters like JP, parrying is a
JP.
is a good alternative. But the problem is it stops you from moving as well. So the
Yep.
whole idea is with JP you want to get like this far away from him. You don't want to be this far away from him. You want to be right here because you want to
Yeah,
make him afraid to press a button, and sort of try to bait him out too.
that's what I've heard. Like JP will destroy you at far range, but if you get in close, you can kind of out buttons him.
He'll
He has some really good buttons though, and he
Yeah.
gets like some free ass freaking resets in the neutral, which is annoying, but whatever. They put the boss version in the game by accident.
Yep. Yeah, but like, I don't know. I like. So, does anyone remember how red parries worked in 4? Because I didn't play enough 4.
I don't remember
I didn't
honestly.
play enough for. I'm sorry.
But like, I'm wondering if eventually they'll make
Oh,
a
I kind of remember. It's like you can use it to like blow through moves, I think.
yeah. So I'm wondering if they'll make a stronger version of a parry, a perfect parry in this, or like I don't know if it's ultra perfect parry, but you have to like pay more meter, and then maybe you don't get the damage reduction because it's like I don't like why even bother going for for the perfect parry, and I'm still under like other than meter management and maybe starting off with a little
Well,
bit more
you get a
advantage.
lot more reward, and there's
Yeah,
not much risk to parry in SF6.
yeah, because there's no
Yes.
high low, right? It's just parry it.
Yeah,
So
it
so
just
the
parries.
so the real problem is that you shouldn't look at parrying for damage. You should look at parrying as a momentum mechanic.
Mm,
So the parrying is the idea is you take back your momentum because it's their turn. You want it to be your turn. You parry,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then you do a get off me or whatever it may be. At least in most cases. So,
You
uh,
punish them.
not only that, but like certain things like drive rush, perfect parry, and even sometimes I think drive impact will eat inputs as well. So they could be
Yeah.
used to like I'm actually starting to see how drive impact or sorry drive rush is used to punish certain things that are very difficult to punish typically. Like, I think it's going to be used to punish Honda's headbutt. Like, at least in my mind. You know, like you block
That's fair.
a drive, like a headbutt, drive rush in, you know, do your little combo, do some mad damage, so on and so forth.
Fair enough.
But yeah, man, Street Fighter 6 is really amazing. I think it's a good game. I think it's really great. I think it's not perfect, obviously, but what game is, you know? Once
Best modern AAA fighting game release though.
a lot of, yeah, I would say so. Well, until, you know, MK1 possibly comes out, and we'll see how that goes.
Fighting game players are eating great.